tanungin natin sila, ano ba ang mga parameters or sign na yung taong kasama mo is tama para sa'yo o makakabuti para sa'yo.
Pag nangutang na sa'yo, may problema na tayo.
Yun lang.
That's
Yun
one
lang.
thing. Pag umutang na sa'yo, definitely may problema na. Kasi nawala na ako ng mga friends because of utang. Kaya sabi ko, nababawasan yung kaibigan mo because utang. Siyempre, hindi ka nababayaran minsan. So, the tendency is that they just disappear and stuff like that. They might as well ask. Humingi na lang. Kaya sa akin, bawal na utang. So bad, no? Pero, when somebody asks me of money, kung ano yung maibibigay ko, I just give it. Not utang, but
not expecting na babalik siya.
Hindi na babalik. Ito na lang.
Sa'yo
Para
na
hindi
yan.
sa mamaloob, di ba?
Yes.
Ito, pasensya ka na. Ito, hindi utang yan. That's already bigay. So, I mean, to avoid those kind of stuff na magkakaroon kayo ng problema, di ba?
Well, siguro for me, it's siguro personality ko, sigurista ako eh. Ayoko na magkamali. So may kasabihan tayo na guluhin mo yung damo, lalabas yung ahas.
So ang tanong ko, how do you deal with those kind of people na parang feeling mo, medyo negative energy to para sa akin, medyo parang feeling ko, hindi maganda timpla nito.
Well, ako, there's a saying, you can have a lot of friends, but the true friends is just really difficult to get.
Yeah.
So you can count on your fingers yung kaibigan ko lang talagang totoo.
Yung nasa circle mo.
Yun nasa circle ko. So, as what you said earlier, you asked a question of, how do you deal with it?
Yes.
To me, I'm just being, respectful. But there's a line, there's a borderline that cuts it off. So there are limitations in that, So you can be with them, say hi, and be respectful. But more than that, you try and avoid it.
Because people tend to abuse you.
Yeah.
People tend to backstab you or traidorin ka.
Kasi usually ngayon, na napapansin ko, like, anywhere around the world or even with your relationships with other people, minsan hindi mo alam kung yung tao may vested interest sa'yo. Or hindi mo din alam, baka naman mamaya yung tao na yun, pinagdududa mo, yung pala yung makakatulong sa'yo.
I was taking the board exams. Galing ako Amerika. Kailangan mo mag-board exam dito. Pagdating dito, wala kang kaibigan sa board exam. Hindi mo kilala yung mga kasama mo sa review center. And yung mga katabi ko, nagkataon lang naman. Mabait, niyaya ako, sama ka sa amin. And, they helped me. In every day, magkakasama kami. We studied together. We met up outside to help each other pagdating sa reviews. And eventually, all of us passed the exam. And we worked tayo, nagsama-sama kami, nagtulungan. I mean, I was thinking that time, paano kung maling tropa na kasama ko nun?
Dinala ka
At
sa
yes, ibang grupo. Yung mga, siguro, easy, walang pake. No. But these guys were so nice, and I'm sure all of them are doing well abroad, working as an architect. And I'm very thankful that I met them, that now I'm an architect by profession.
So, ano ba ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon? Ano ba ang
Eto,
kwentuhan natin?
Napag-isipan ko na kanina.
Okay.
So, I want to talk about how do you know if you are with the right people?
Nako, magbabiral na naman tayo dito. Ito na naman tayo sa
medyo
mga
malalim
topic.
ito na usapan.
Pag-usapan natin dito, kwento mo sa buhay. Kasamang mga pogs, ilabas lahat ng tunay. Mag-relax na tayo, sober man o tipsy. Aral makukuha mo sa Life Over.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Life Over Whiskey Podcast, where we share valuable life lessons and stories you can learn from over a glass of whiskey. My name is Brian.
And I'm Gerald.
Direct J. We're still having wine tonight.
Kaya nga Dapat ba life over wine na tayo?
Spin-off na natin yan.
Spin-off natin.
And I think perfect yan with the people who are with us tonight. Andito pa rin kasama natin, none other than Cong, Boy, and of course, Sir Gerry.
Yan.
Ayan. Magandang gabi sa inyo.
Well,
napaka-pogi naman natin mga guys.
Oo nga Parehong mga mukhang bata, di ba?
Good evening, Cong Boy.
Well, good evening, Bri. Good evening, Direct Gerald, siyempre sa ating mga viewers, listeners. Good evening to all of you.
Yes. Good evening to all, and good evening to all viewers.
Yeah,
all right.
Nice. So, ano ba ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon? Ano ba ang kwentuhan natin?
Napag-isipan ko na kanina.
Okay.
So, I want to talk about how do you know if you are with the right people?
Nako,
Medyo
magbabiral na
malalim
naman
to na.
tayo dito.
Oo.
Ito na naman tayo sa
Medyo
mga
malalim to
topic.
na usapan.
Oo. Kasi usually ngayon, na napapansin ko, like, anywhere around the world or even with your relationships with other people, minsan hindi mo alam kung yung tao may vested interest sa'yo. Or hindi mo din alam, baka naman mamaya yung tao na yun, pinagdududa mo, yung pala yung makakatulong sa'yo. Tanungin natin sila, ano ba ang mga parameters or sign na yung taong kasama mo is tama para sa'yo o makakabuti para sa'yo? Let's start
Ganda.
first off with Sir Gerry.
Sir Gerry, go ahead.
Wow. You're putting me in a hot seat, huh? Well, ako, to be honest, once I met somebody, meron kaagad akong feelings na nararamdaman na okay ang tao o hindi okay ang tao. The movement, the eyes, doon ko nababasa basically yung mga tao na not sincere and stuff like that. So, when I talk to the people kasi, I look eye to eyes.
I noticed that about you.
Yeah, that's the only way to see things, Pag ang tao medyo hindi makatitik sa'yo, it means hindi siya 100%. Kasi when you talk to somebody, you have to look into your eyes. Eyes contact is the most important thing in talking. Tsaka siyempre, as you go along with the people that you met, basically, nare-realize mo kung sino talaga yung tama at hindi. It comes without saying. Makikita mo. Lahat-lahat. May vested interest sa'yo, hindi. Well, I learned it so much kasi marami na akong tao na kasalamuha, lahat-lahat. Pag nangutang na sa'yo, may problema na tayo.
Yun lang.
That's
Yun
one
lang.
thing. Pag umutang na sa'yo, definitely may problema na. Kasi nawala na ako ng mga friends because of utang. Kaya sabi ko, nababawasan yung kaibigan mo because utang. Siyempre, hindi ka na mabayaran minsan. So, the tendency is that they just disappear and stuff like that. They might as well ask, humingi na lang. Kaya sa akin, bawal na utang. So bad, no? Pero, when somebody asks me of money, kung ano yung maibibigay ko, I just give it. Not utang, but
Not expecting na babalik siya.
Yeah, hindi na babalik. Ito na lang.
Sa'yo
Para
na
hindi
yan.
sa mamaloob, di ba?
Yes.
Ito, pasensya ka na. Ito, hindi utang yan. That's already bigay. So, I mean, to avoid those kind of stuff na magkakaroon kayo ng problema, di ba? So, tsaka, madali, it's so easy kung fake ang tao sa akin. I mean, I don't need to elaborate, but so easy.
So meron si Sir Gerry parang foresight na. Nararamdaman niya kung medyo alanganin to.
Alam sa Predator.
May ganun. Meron siya x-ray vision. So, mapunta naman tayo sa
Okay,
iyo,
Cong
sir.
boy.
Well, siguro for me, it's very similar rin kay Kuya Gerry. I always say that you look at the aura of the person. Nakikita mo nararamdaman mo na lang there's something off with that person. And just to check, kasi siguro personality ko, sigurista ako Ayoko na magkamali. So may kasabihan tayo na guluhin mo yung damo, lalabas yung ahas. So you mentioned things with people around you. You mentioned good governance. You mentioned no corruption. Walang sul, walang lagay-lagay. Walang kikita, ganyan. Walang illegal na negosyo. Then yung tumatahimik. Alam mong, teka lang, ayaw yata nito.
Medyo guilty ba? Medyo guilty ba?
Parang, naku, gusto nito, may racket lagi. So that's one thing that you see. And it's a test It's a test. Ayokong nagdududa sa isang tao. But sometimes in politics, tulad ni Kuya Gerry, dami mong mamimit talaga na tao. You have 9 years in Congress, you meet all kinds of people. From top to bottom, all kinds. And that's when you learn. It's also an experience. And when you see that person, alam mo na agad.
So how do you handle them? Like, tanongin mo na kita sa'yo, Sir Gerry. How do you handle it? Nilalayuan nyo na lang ba? Or parang you just go for the ride? Or pagpapasensyahan nyo na lang yung mga tao? Kasi let's face it, everyday ng buhay natin, also with politicians, you get to meet different walks of life and different attitudes. So ang tanong ko, how do you deal with those kind of people na parang feeling mo, medyo negative energy to para sa akin, medyo parang feeling ko, hindi maganda timpla nito. How do you deal with those kind of people?
As a public servant rin naman, you adjust. Like I always said before, you adjust to the person. You know what the reality is, and you just try to do what's good for him or her, and give whatever he or she needs. But you know deep inside, alam mo naman na
Medyo
meron tong ibang intention, but
So, kailangan mong set ng boundaries. You set your boundaries.
yes, you clear naman sa kanila. So, but you don't, like I said, someone that you don't trust, you don't open up. But to people that you know you trust, sobrang ang bilis ko kasi magtiwala. And I know my personality. And I open up to the person that I can trust.
Okay. How about you, sir?
Well, ako, there's a saying, you can have a lot of friends, but the true friends is just really difficult to get.
Yeah.
So you can count on your fingers yung kaibigan ko lang talagang totoo.
Yung nasa circle mo, sir.
It has a circle go. So, as what you said earlier, you asked a question of, how do you deal with it?
Yes.
To me, I'm just being, respectful. But there's a line, there's a borderline that cuts it off. So there are limitations to that, So you can be with them, say hi, and be respectful. But more than that, you try and avoid it.
Okay.
Being civil din.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. You have to be. No matter how the people is or the people are, you have to respect them.
I like that.
So let's just say na nagkamali tayo ng basa doon sa tao. How do you handle betrayal?
Simple. Just move on. Get lost. Just get out of the circle. That's it.
Pero I remember parang kanina, Sir Gerry, you were mentioning about something na parang there's no such thing as parang betrayal.
Yes.
Can you
Wala ba
expound
talagang
on that?
betrayal?
Can you expound on it?
Sa akin kasi betrayal is something that, meaning nangyayari sa buhay ng tao eh. But you just go to the flow of it, If it is not serious, if it is not really damaging to yourself, then you just ignore it. Just ignore it and move on. At the end of the day, it's part of life. It's part of life.
And you think it's meant to happen at some point? Nag-i-instrument yung betrayal na yon?
Well, cases are, yes. But rare sa akin.
It's exact the same reaction for me. You learn through the years to ignore. And when you ignore, you really pray hard na sana magbago siya. Hopeful ka lagi, optimistic ako na sana maging maayos na siya. But then you eventually bumabalik, inuulit rin. And once you know that person is like that, then acceptance. Respeto na lang na ganun talaga eh. Wala kang magagawa. But as a politician, as a public servant, then you just move on and just go on with your life.
Pero Bray, medyo bibiglain ko sila sa tanong.
Ano yan?
Okay, I'll start with you first, Cong.
Yes.
How do you know that Mr. Ramos is the right partner for you?
Yeah, magandang tanong yan. Paano nagkaroon ng match? Paano nag-match?
Well, sa totoo, we only met a few months ago, last year.
Okay.
And when I spoke to him, we met. Sinabi ko lang, gusto ko lang makita yung mga kotse niya eh.
Kotse lang ba talaga?
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Then first time ko makausap, then nagkwentuhan lang kami ni Kuya Gerry. Then eventually, sinabi niya lang sa akin, of course, it's stuck in my head. It's very clear na tutulungan kita. All I wanted was his support. Na parang he'll endorse me. At alam ko naman, taga-kawit si Kuya. Matagal ang taga-kawit. Maraming kaibigan, maraming kakilala. Ang sabi niya lang sa akin, sige, tulungan kita. Endorse kita. Pero ang siguraduhin mo, walang korupsyon. Meaning, bawat piso na pumapasok sa munisipyo, pumapasok sa gobyerno, ibalik mo sa taong bayan. That was clear. And I understood that. As soon as he said that, I knew, okay kami.
So, ang nakita mo kay Sir Gerry was integrity.
Yes.
Yun ang talagang nag-ano sa'yo.
I knew his principles at once. Nung pagkasabi niya, sabi ko, for me, inside, sabi ko sabi, ay, salamat. Kasundo ko.
Breath of fresh
So
air.
it was easy for me. And I felt that at once. Nararamdaman mo sa puso mo.
Nice. How about you, sir?
That's
Same
nice.
question.
Well, it goes by. I mean, the guy I felt that he's the right guy and he promised me to do that. And I'm there to do that. The same thing, that's why I'm here now, is to help him to be able to execute exactly what, the plan is. I mean, these are all for the betterness of Kawit. Kaya doon sa mga Kawitenyo na nakakarinig ngayon, we are here just to help. We wanted to do something for the people of Kawit. We wanted to improve Kawit because the way it is now, it's so bad, and I'm feeling about the people. So purely service lang maibigay natin and give the best. Yun lang ang masasabi ko sa mga Kawitenyo na nakakarinig nito.
So, what quality na nakita mo sa kanya na kung bakit you think he's the right person for you?
Well, sabi ko nga sa'yo, when we spoke together, he promised that, he's gonna do his best for the Kawitenyos, So I supported him. Basically, support lang talaga ako eh. Then time na he asked me that if I can run. Then I said, wait, I cannot, answer it at once. I said, give me, days to think about it because I have to pray. Because anything I do, I always ask guidance to our Lord Jesus Christ. So, one day before the Friday, so sabi ko, you're so lucky. Sabi ko, there's always a divine intervention. Sabi ko, okay, fine, I'm going.
One day before.
Yeah, one day before.
And I prayed hard too.
Sabi ko, okay, I'll be joining you. So that's about it. But kaya nga sinasabi ko is that we are here running for the betterness of Kawit. That's all we can say. Through service.
Pero gusto kong tanongin si Cong, na mention kasi na initially you approach as parang gusto mo lang na, get his support.
Yes.
What made you consider to run beside him as, as vice mayor?
I never knew he was going to run. It was also after a few months.
Months pala.
Months pa lang kami magkakilala. Then it was filing already. And sabi nga, Kuya Gerry, baka pag-isipan niyo maigi. Baka pwede kayo sumama. And I asked him that. And he really said no. It's not for me. O iba yung susuporta ko sa'yo, tutulong ako sa'yo, endorse kita. Pero iba yung lalaban. And sinabi niya sa akin, yung buhay ko hindi para dyan. Okay na eh. Okay sa buhay niya. He's happy, quiet life. Exactly. Politics, sabi nga siya sa akin, madumi ang politika. He said that to me. And I do understand where he's coming from. But sabi ko nga, I prayed hard that he would say yes. And it happened.
Eventually it did.
Meron ako isang naalalang kwento while we interviewed Sir Gerry na parang, di ba, finding the right people who will help you in life, right? Naalala ko, nagpunta siya, di ba? Parang hindi pa siya nakagraduate, pumunta siya ng Bahrain. Tapos, hanggang sa nagpalit-palit siya ng trabaho, then nahanap niya yung naging partner niya na yung employer niya na nagtiwala sa kanya. So,
naging partner siya doon.
Yeah, exactly. So, isipin mo, feeling ko, hindi ka din naman mapupunta doon if you are not connected in the right people. Yes, you're hardworking. That's given. Pero, di ba, parang at some point feeling ko ang naging desisyon niya sa hanapin yung mga taong tama para sa kanya, sumwak. Di ba? And same as goes with Cong, na finding the right person also would be Sir Gerry for him. Parang ganun eh.
It's all about that. To go out and look for the right people.
Yeah. Diba? Oh, tayo, life over whiskey.
Yeah.
Diba? Sa iba, so co-host
actually,
tayo.
Alam mo, ano lang, na kami ni Direk, sobrang complementary talaga kami. And I see us sa kanila.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
I see a lot of who we are. And I think when finding the right people, values alignment talaga eh. And sa generation po namin ngayon, it's really important to see the values na pinangahawakan ng isang tao.
Tama
and if
naman.
it's something you feel that you gravitate towards, doon mo talaga mas masosolidify. Do I want to partner with this person? Do I want to be around this person? Diba? So, yeah, it plays a lot of huge factor.
Kung align yung energy
Kung
nyo.
align energy and values.
Galing.
Well, there's also one thing in common with us. You see, we're both jolly.
But jolly. Pakita ka na yung jolly dyan, Cong boy. Ano yung jolly ko?
Totoo naman yan. Lagi kami masaya. Every time we meet the people, we try to find fun and happiness in it. We don't look at it as something napipilitan kami or not. No. Pagdating doon talagang napapangiti ka na eh.
Entertainer na nga kami.
Yes. and napapasaya mo yung tao talaga. Which is something that, you get it back. Yung satisfaction, nakita mo, ang tao masaya, ngumingiti, at saka nag-aantay silang tao. Minsan 2 oras, 3 oras. At sasabihin sila, alam nyo, Mayor, Vice Gerry, nag-enjoy kami. And they're sitting there, nakaupo lang sila, nakikinig, but nag-enjoy sila. And which is, a sign of approval that we're doing the right thing.
So, you think in friendship or let's say in partnership, yung relationship natin with other people, parang how do you know na parang do you look like na may nakikita ka ba na certain character or values or top 3 qualities ng tao para masabi mong oy okay tong tao na to?
Meron ka bang kino-consider?
Meron ba kayong kino-consider? Like example, I am sure kay Sir Gerry's number 1 is supposed to be God-fearing. That's one of it. So parang gano'n, what do you guys consider?
Meron bang ganun sa inyo?
Well, openness ang mas importante sa akin. Yung honest ka sa isa't isa.
Okay.
If there are issues, you tackle the issues. Open up, be vocal to that. That's the most important thing. Kasi at the end of the day, tayo yan eh. So sa akin, para magkasundo tayo, you have to open all the cards. Nothing is secret. Yeah.
Ganda nun.
Latag
That's
mo.
the way to
Ganda na.
handle things. That's the way to move on.
Literal
There's no
lang
other
open.
way. No secrets. I hate secrets. Kailangan open ka. Pag may problema ka and that problem related sa trabaho, we should be open and discuss. Because brainstorming is very important. And as I'm saying, every day you're gonna learn. So never stop learning. No. Very important thing.
Well, for me, it's exactly the same. It's communication. The good thing about Kuya Gerry, pag may mali ka, sabi niya mali. Pag tama ka, compliment ka niya. So, madali ko maintindihan eh. It's yes or no. Which is something also. I guess, for me, Kuya Gerry's older than me. Kaya kuya. But, I mean, I do have some experience in politics. But Kuya has the wisdom eh.
Yes.
He knows. And he has that gut feel too. So, ang dali kong nararamdaman ko na agad. And nasasabi niya agad sa akin. And I do accept. If may mali ako, I accept. Which is very important. Pagka magka-partner kami, magka-tandem, importante understanding with each other.
Absolutely.
And I think we've gone a long way through these months. We've been with each other every day, magkakasama kami. So alam na namin yung isa't isa talaga.
Yeah.
And we still have a long way to learn, but it's still there.
So with partnership and friendship ba, no? Ano ba yung mas advantage yung kasi parang si Sir Gerry sabi, what you see is what you get. So in some ways, si Sir Gerry is medyo confrontational person. Medyo nakaka-relate ako dun sa ganung character. Yes. Nakikita ko. So, okay ba yon? Or mas okay ba yung medyo mahaba ang patience mo, hindi ka confrontational? Anong take nyo dun? Ano yung mas okay? Confrontational ka o hindi?
Ako?
Yeah, come on, sir.
I'm very upfront.
Okay.
Upfront.
What you see is
Trust
what
me.
you get.
This is me. Yeah. This is me. At sa akin, wala nga. Sabi niya nga, either yes or no. I don't stay in between.
Walang gray area.
Don't agree.
Oh.
That's me.
Lakas na loob. Diba?
Siguro kami magkabaliktad kami. But sabi ko nga, minsan opposites attract nga eh.
Yes, totoo yan.
Opposite poles.
Confrontation si Kuya. Ako naman, I'm very patient.
You're more diplomatic side. Parang
I will wait. Okay lang sa akin. And I do understand. As a younger guy, malaki respeto kay Kuya.
Yeah.
So he's like an older brother to me. Hindi ko sabihin daddy. Older brother. At and you understand. I'm the youngest in the family. So alam ko yan, as an older brother, nakikinig ka. Kasi alam mo may mali ka eh.
Yeah.
So you learn to adapt and you learn to accept what's wrong, what your mistakes are. Then you change. Then when you change, I always go back kay Kuya. Kuya, tama ka. So because of his experience with people, you know that so we really need this guidance, and we apply it in our campaign here in Kawit.
Yeah. I think when you talk about the right people, kailangan talaga ko yung dynamics nyo eh. Would you
Yin
say,
yang.
oo, yin yang eh. Pwede ba na right people pero pares kayo ng approach? Di ba kayo magbabanggaan nun?
Ay, good question yun. Good question yun. But sa case kasi nila,
Yin yang sila.
yin yang
Just
eh.
like us eh.
Pero what if pareho ng personality mo, Sir Jerry?
May mga
Or same
pareho
as
ka
with
ba
you?
ng personality na right,
nakalits
for you,
may-
right people din siya?
Natulungan ka ba nun to be where you at right now? Or?
No, it's simple eh. When you are in the same page na katulad na tao, let's say pareho tayo na ugali, the more I will love it. Kasi if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot say you're right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so pagkatotoo lang talaga. You know, so sa akin,
Yeah.
okay lang yun. Pag
I
hindi
like
mo
that.
matake, you get out.
Yes.
If hindi mo matake, you just get out. You know?
Mapagkumbaba din si Sir Gerry. Kumbaga admitting kung sakaling
Yes.
yeah, you got a point. Tama ka naman.
Hindi kasi parang just to lang before we go to kay Kong, no. Parang gets ko sometimes kasi ako as being a strong personality person, you know me, Bri. 'Di ba sometimes sa sobrang gusto ko mag-improvise ng tao minsan pagka medyo sensitive yung tao, medyo masasaktan. Kaya lang, ang advantage naman nun, you know what you're getting kapag ka straightforward ka. So that's why I can relate to him eh. Yun lang, just to anchor at what he said.
yeah.
How about you, sir?
Sa akin siguro, baliktad kay Kuya naman. Kasi sa akin naman, if pareho kaming matitigas, may chance na magbanggaan kayo.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Kasi, hindi, ito gusto ko. Ito gusto niya. But the thing is, I know Kuya eh. So sa tagal na magkasama ngayon na everyday magkasama,
Balancing the energy.
yes. So you learn and you keep on adapting and adjusting. And he's brought a lot of things. Kasi sa amin, siguro tagal ko na sa politika, na-set na namin yung parameters and things. Kuya brings a breath of fresh air in how we do politics right now in Kawit, which is something very important because we want change. We really want change. And he's a new face. Ako matagal na. But si Kuya is a new face for the people. And it's for me, it's a sign, sa akin, it's a sign of hope and for Kawit. And he's the face of it. And ako, I believe in it. So pag may sinabi siya, tiwala. Tiwala na lang talaga. You gotta give it to him na may tamang mangyari. And sabi ko nga, si Kuya is very, there's divine intervention. God knows what's right.
All right, guys. So on the topic of finding the right people, my question to both of you is, dapat ba when you're finding the right people, mabait ka? Or dapat ba pakitaan mo din ang pangil mo ng onting,
Sa akin kasi is may border lahat. Pag hindi mo na kaya, pakitaan mo na ng pangil. Kailangan nyo kasi mabait ako, napakabait ko. Pero pag kailangan na talaga na i-terminate mo, you have to show. That's it. I mean, there's always limitation for everything.
may hanggan.
Tama.
How about you?
Well, sa akin, Bri, tulad nga sinabi ni Gerry, masyado raw mabait. Siguro, ang tagal lang tumubo ng ngipin ko eh. Ang bagal, delayed eh.
Alam mo yung vampira? Pero slow mo yung paglalas ng pangil.
Pero at least, I mean, pinagsasabi naman ni Kuya Gerry lagi, di ba? Hindi ka pwedeng laging ganyan. Because people tend to abuse you.
Yeah.
People tend to backstab you or traidorin ka. And I do understand where he's coming from. Maybe it's just something hard for me to do right now, but you need that. Kailangan, as long as you're within the boundaries, within the law, okay lang sa akin yun. You know, but sometimes you gotta be tough too. And I do understand. You just need the right time.
So that's compliments.
Yeah, definitely.
Meron na bang instance sa buhay nyo, Sir Gerry and Cong, na nahanap niyo yung right person kahit before pa, when you were younger, na ito'y nakatulong sa inyo kung nasan kayo ngayon? Meron kang specific person in mind or specific scenario na pwedeng ikwento?
Yes, that's my boss.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, I was only a salesman when I joined that company. Naging ka-partner niya. I mean, how strong is that? How good is that? Diba? And everything. But as I said, I always place first God because that's my guide. So I just did my part. Sa akin kasi, when I do things, I always do the best that I can. Nagustuhan niya ako because I deliver things the way he wanted it. Oo, kasi visionary yung tao niya. He's super good. And marami siyang traits na magaganda. And I learned from him a lot, as a mentor. That's why I applying things, that I learned from him. Sabi nga, a good mentor. Pag minentor ka na, ako, nag-mentor sa'yo, for example, kailangan mas magaling ka sa akin after that. That's a good mentor. So, inamin ko, mas magaling pa ako sa boss ko after that.
May pagka-push and pull sila.
Yes.
Boss niya dati. How about you, Cong?
Well, sa akin break, direct. So one incident was before becoming an architect. I was taking the board exams. Galing ako Amerika, kailangan mo mag-board exam dito. Pagdating dito, wala kang kaibigan sa board exam. Hindi mo kilala yung mga kasama mo sa review center. And yung mga katabi ko, nagkataon lang naman. Mabait, niyaya ako, sama ka sa amin. And, they helped me in every day magkakasama kami. We studied together. We met up outside to help each other pagdating sa reviews. And eventually, all of us passed the exam. And we worked tayo, nagsama-sama kami, nagtulungan. I mean, I was thinking that time, paano kung maling tropa na kasama ko nun?
Tama.
Dinala
At
ka sa
yes,
ibang
ibang grupo.
path.
Yung mga, siguro, easy, walang pake. But these guys were so nice, and I'm sure all of them are doing well abroad, working as an architect. And I'm very thankful that I met them, that now I'm an architect by profession.
Napaka-importante ng support system. Regardless if it's your family, if it's your business partner, if it's your life partner, regardless, importanteng may support system ka. Because I always believe no man is an island. So, yes, there are some people na self-made. Yes, self-made. But in reality, along the way, may tumulong sa'yo Just like kung ano yung si Sir Gerry is a self-made man. Pero, along the way, that person, yung taga-Bahrain, help him to where he is right now. So that's my takeaway. How about you?
Ako, my takeaway on this conversation we're having right now, there's no recipe in finding the right people. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. And sometimes you get with the wrong ones until you find the right ones.
Nice.
How about you, Cong?
Well, siguro something different is I never mentioned, but in the regards to the right company, so I can put the family also as part of it. When you're being guided right by your mom, by your dad, by your older brothers, then everything you make, every decision that you make is, meron kang sinusundan. May guidance ka na, okay, ito yung tama. Alam mo yung mali, alam mo yung masama, alam mo yung, at sasabihan ka, dapat may takot ka sa Diyos.
Morals.
And yung morals and values mo, you will always prioritize that than anything else. So at least every action that you do will be guided. And that's what I got from my parents and my brothers. Na lagi nila chinecheck, hanggang ngayon chinecheck ka pa rin. Kahit na si Vice ang kasama ko, si Kuya Gerry ang kasama ko, sabihin nila, ganito pa rin ito pa rin gawin mo. So at least you know you're doing the right thing. So ang kaiban lang ngayon, chinecheck ka na ng mga magulang mo, ng pamilya mo, ng kapatid mo, chinecheck ka pa ni Kuya Gerry.
Double check. Para sure. Para
Brother,
sure.
nag-check sa'yo.
Yes.
Brother.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, sir?
Well, myself, so to speak, talaga naman, una sa akin talaga ang Diyos. Kasi we were given knowledge. I mean, of course, my parents guided me, and everything. But till I left, siyempre I was alone. So, it's you alone. Imagine. So, prayers, faith. That gives me everything what I am now. Trust me.
Yun pa rin talaga ang powerful.
Yun pa rin.
Prayers.
Pagsalang-alang natin.
Yeah.
Kasi we
Iba pa rin.
can't control everything.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the both of you also
Yeah,
for,
thank you so much.
for guesting in our show. Marami kaming natutunan. And I'm sure ang ating mga low barkada, maraming natutunan sa episode natin ngayon.
Yeah. And with that,
Yeah.
thank you so much, mga ka-whiskey, mga ka-low-barkada, for listening and watching on this episode. We will see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Stay pogs!
Stay pogs.
Podcast na naman with Gerald at Brian. Aral lang pulutan sa inuman at kwentuhan. Pinagsamang veterano, parehong talentado. Ihanda ang may katbaso sa lamesa at intablado.
Big Eyes Production.